Welcome back to the Max Level Marketing Podcast, the Daily Intelligence Brief. Today's episode is going to hit differently. We're not breaking down a product launch or a corporate policy shift. No, we're looking at something happening right now on every feed, every platform, everywhere. And it's one of the clearest mirrors I've seen held up to how the internet is shaping not just culture, but commerce. I'm Maxine Ebegbuzie, your guide through the noise and into the heart of what actually moves brands, buyers, and behavior. I am not mentioning this just to jump on the controversy. This is a lesson in the economics of attention and the real cost when brands let the algorithm do the driving. Pamela Anderson. Once the poster woman for 90s beauty standards is back in headlines, but not for a reboot, a scandal, or a new product line. She's being dragged across social media for her personal decision to stop wearing makeup publicly, and the latest viral post? A side-by-side comparison of her 1992 Baywatch look versus her natural, bare-faced appearance today, complete with a public rating scale asking followers to score her evolution. What followed was a predictable wave of comments ranging from supportive to brutal, exposing how social media engagement algorithms reward humiliation, bait over meaningful conversation. But here's what's getting missed. This is bigger than Pamela. And while it's unfortunate to see the backlash she's facing as a woman and as someone who has spent decades in the public eye, it's also worth recognizing the quiet statement she's making. Whether intentional or not, she's setting an example for women of all ages and at the same time planting seeds for young men to question the social norms and beauty standards that have shaped expectations of women for centuries. But let me tell you, we're going deeper than that. It's about what the internet economy has trained people to value, post, and engage with, and what that's doing to both culture and commerce in real time. So let's talk about what this really means for brands, creators, and tech leaders both here in the US and in Canada. First thing, we're seeing the normalization of digital dehumanization. Let's just call it what it is. Social platforms are literally designed to reward ridicule because outrage keeps people clicking. And even though these same platforms say they care about community standards, they're still promoting viral shaming posts, whether it's celebrities, private citizens, or even brands. Second, we've got AI-fueled aesthetic pressure loops. Think about it. TikTok's got those bold glamour filters. AI-generated beauty content is everywhere. And it's creating a world where younger generations are being trained to reject natural aging. The gap between algorithmic beauty and real-life human faces, it's only getting bigger. And honestly, that's not just a culture problem. It's a mental health risk for women and men. And finally, there's the missed brand opportunity sitting right in front of us. Because brands that play into this cycle, yeah, they might grab some cheap clicks today, but long-term, they're risking trust erosion. On the flip side, brands that take a stand for authenticity, for real self-worth, and for body neutrality, those brands, they have a rare chance to build emotional equity that actually sticks. So this is not a celebrity moment to scroll past. It's a real-time case study in how the economics of social media shape what we value, and a reminder that brands have a choice in what they support with their ad dollars and their messaging. All right. Let's bring it closer to home for a second. Right here in Windsor, Detroit, this trend is showing up in local creator circles too. You've got influencers, small business owners, even youth-led startups, all feeling the pressure to lean into that same viral bait trap just to stay visible. But there's another way. Beauty studios, personal care brands, lifestyle coaches, even media outlets right here in our community, they've got a real shot to flip the script. They could start leading with realistic, inclusive, human-first messaging. And imagine if local media and tech hubs started building spaces where positive visibility gets rewarded without tearing people down. The brands that build emotional safety, yeah, they're the ones that'll win long-term trust. And let me tell you, trust converts way faster than outrage ever will. Now, let's break down what's really going on from a brand strategy angle. See these viral then versus now posts. They're designed for one thing, friction. They aren't made for thoughtful conversation. They're built to spike emotions and keep people locked into the app. It's called viral outrage farming, and it works because anger and shock grab attention. And the way they frame it, with stuff like rate her evolution, makes it feel like harmless fun, but it's not. It shifts the responsibility to the audience, while the publishers sit back and avoid accountability for the harm it creates. And let's not forget the audience polarization play. These posts split people into two camps, pro and anti. And guess what? Both sides keep commenting, keep sharing, keep driving up engagement. But brands need to ask themselves, are we fueling that divide just to get clicks? Or are we building community that actually lasts? Because what you reward gets repeated, and rewarding outrage might win the moment, but it will cost you trust over time. Now, let's unpack the psychology behind this. First, the bandwagon shaming effect. Once a few negative comments hit, it opens the floodgates for everyone else to pile on without even thinking twice. Next, there's false comparison framing, also known as time distortion bias. Lining up a 25-year-old Pamela next to a 56-year-old Pamela, yeah, that's engineered to trigger people's bias toward the fresher image, while completely ignoring the reality of aging. And finally, the gamification of beauty standards. Turning someone's appearance into a rating game, that's how they exploit our dopamine-driven habits, making it feel like entertainment, when really it's just degrading people for clicks. But here's the opportunity. Brands that understand these tactics, they can flip the script. They can build engagement that actually lifts people up instead of tearing them down. And that is where real loyalty lives. So, what's the big picture here? It most certainly is pointing to a mirror moment, reflecting the state of digital behavior, algorithmic bias, and brand responsibility in 2025. Because here's the thing. What we're seeing right now is a real-time preview of the playbook that's shaping attention economies everywhere. From the creators chasing relevance, to the platforms writing the rules, to the brands deciding where to place their budgets. Every player is either reinforcing this cycle or rewriting it, and that's why this matters so much. Because the brands that choose to rewrite the script, the ones that choose to prioritize real connection over cheap engagement, they're the ones that'll build trust that actually lasts beyond the algorithm. And that's exactly where we're headed next. As platforms keep finding new ways to monetize outrage, brands have a decision to make. What are you actually rewarding with your budget, your messaging, and your content strategy? Are you feeding the cycle, or are you building something that helps people feel seen, heard, and respected? Let me put on my branding and neuromarketing hat for a minute. Because the smartest brands aren't sitting on the sidelines watching this unfold. They're actively defining their role in the conversation. You see, Pamela Anderson's decision to go bare-faced has become an accidental masterclass in brand repositioning. She's disrupting an industry that built her image in the 90s, reclaiming control of her narrative by rejecting the filters, the pressure, and the production value the industry once celebrated her for. And whether you agree with her or not, she's showing every brand what courageous brand differentiation looks like. She's positioning herself on the opposite side of the polished, hyper-filtered, algorithmic aesthetic. That's a real brand move, and people are noticing. Now, let's get into what this means for brands listening right now. Don't chase trends. This is your reminder. Your brand, it should stand for something. Something bigger than visibility. Something rooted in values. Because brands that take the easy way out, jumping on viral cycles without considering the long-term cost, they might win clicks today, but they're sacrificing trust tomorrow. And trust? That's what scales. Let's go even deeper on what's really driving this behavior online. Here's where it gets tactical. First, you've got something called rage click incentivization. This is where platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram prioritize content that spikes anger or shock because it keeps people scrolling, commenting, and engaging longer, and the data backs it up. According to MIT research, false or emotionally charged news spreads 6 times faster on social media than factual reporting. Why? Well, because outrage is sticky. It hijacks attention and keeps you locked in, right? Second, algorithmic emotional bias loops. TikTok's algorithm, for example, doesn't just serve you what you watch. It serves you more of what triggers emotional response, even if that response is negative. The longer you stay, the more ad revenue they make. It's that simple. And finally, gamified social validation cycles. Platforms reward you with likes, shares, and views when you participate in viral trends, even if those trends are built on tearing someone down. It feels like harmless fun, but it trains your brain to value attention over empathy. So here's my challenge to every leader, creator, and marketer listening. How are you training your audience? What kind of engagement are you rewarding? And are you building a brand that people trust to add value to their lives or just noise to their feed? All right. So I'll leave you with this. In a world that rewards ridicule, the boldest thing you can do is build with respect. So what do you think? Is this just another internet cycle or is it something bigger? Hit me up, drop a comment, share it forward to someone who's building something that actually matters. Let me know what you want to hear broken down next. We're not just building a podcast here, we're building a movement. I'm Maxine Ebegbuzie, and this is the Max Level Marketing Podcast. Stay sharp, stay human, and as always, I'll catch you on the next level.